Things you didn't know about Frank's favorite show in the world.
Woo!
Sons of Anarchy. Would you say this is your favorite show?
I'd probably say in the last like 15 years, yeah. That's like the only show that I can honestly say I watched from the beginning to the end, and I can't say that about much in the last 15 years, so yeah.
Well, it debuted September 3rd, 2008. Now, if you don't know the story of Frank and I, we actually met playing Halo online. And I remember anytime Sons of Anarchy was on, everybody else would be jumping online, and we're texting Frank, and he's like, after SOA. It always had to be after SOA. And then I remember one of the times I was like, all right, I got to figure out, like, I need to see what it is that he's watching. So I flipped on Sons of Anarchy. It was at the very end of the episode. And I can't remember if it was the end of season 1 or season 2. And it's during, I think it was Half Sack's funeral. And all these people die. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then I was
like the Red Wedding, but with bikers?
Kinda. I mean, it's like, a little similar, except it's not like, there's just all shit going like, oh.
They went after the crew that took out Half Sack, and it's like, yeah, they're showing like, it was more like Godfather. Like you have people at a funeral instead of a christening, and then the rival crew is being taken out one by one.
Yeah.
Okay, and it cuts away to them taken out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it was brutal. It was brutal. Now, Ron Perlman.
Brandon's favorite movie, by the way, Godfather.
Fuck, I hate that movie.
Godfather 2.
Jesus, they're so boring. So Ron Perlman, that's the gentleman on the right, he was not the first choice for Clay Morrow. Actually, they had filmed the original pilot, had Scott Glenn in that role, a.k.a. Stick from Daredevil. That's 2 references to Daredevil on tonight's live stream, ladies and gentlemen. And the producers felt that he was too subtle and he wasn't dynamic enough for the role, but they loved the show enough that they were willing to let them go reshoot the pilot with just bringing somebody else in. And obviously they brought in Hellboy to play Clay Morrow. Now, according to Maggie Siff, who played Dr. Tara Knowles, her character was the moral center of the show. She gave the audience... She gave the audience a chance to experience the club with someone who loved them despite knowing better. And while we're on the topic of Tara, by the way, SOA has some of the most gut-wrenching and horrible death scenes, dude. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Charlie Hunnam, who played Jax, the main character, he has had dozens of knives that military and other fans have sent him because Jack carries around, is it a Kabar knife?
Big old Bowie knife.
If I got that wrong, the knife freaks out there will let me know. Let me know in the comments. The Beard says actually
that's a 1911 Switchblade upper decker
in the chat. The Beard says, I didn't like the spinoff. Maybe I need to give it another chance, but I'm looking forward to the first 9 and the show about the kids. Yeah, so Mayans MC, I never actually got through the damn thing, and I need to because I know one of the guys on the show, Rocco, who plays Gilly. I met him down here in El Paso, and he is now an actor, and he does a bunch of work, and he was in Mayans MC. Now, FX, the channel that Sons of Anarchy was on, they would not allow the use of the F word. I'm going to show you this picture just to make you happy, Frank. So they replaced it with Jesus Christ. At one point, somebody within the Fox hierarchy started counting the references because they felt it was too blasphemous. All because they wouldn't let him drop the F-bomb.
Should have just said frack, like that show on Sci-Fi, whatever.
Or like my kid who says frickin' all the time.
What the frack?
And then finally, creator Kurt Sutter, who also played Otto in the show.
Yeah, bites his own tongue off. That was wild.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's such a good show, but there's so many moments where you're like, oh my God. So,
what do you think the worst death was on there?
Hold on, let me finish.
Okay.
So Kurt Sutter, he always liked the irony of motorcycle culture. Because as much as they want to ride free and they're anti-establishment, within the club, it's very structured and pretty much an establishment. Spoiler alerts, by the way, for anybody who has not seen SOA. You can earmuff it.
I think at this point, it's your fault if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's been 10 years.
I think, I mean, the one that definitely affected me the most was Opie. I mean,
Opie was
hands
bad.
down.
The worst though was I can't remember the character's name, but when the guy's daughter gets burnt alive. In the pit.
Tig.
Yeah, when he has to sit there and watch it, and you hear her screaming with the flames in the background, and she gets burnt alive. She didn't have anything to do with the club at all, but that was the way of getting back at her.
Yeah,
that one was freaking gnarly. And then they pulled the body out all burnt and shit. Like, God damn it! Or Jesus Christ!
Yeah, Jesus Christ. and then the other one that got me though, it's not a death. It's the one guy who used to be in the club but got out, and he still had the tattoo on his back. So they tie him up in a garage and they burn it off his back.
Yeah.
Go watch Sons of Anarchy.
It's a good show.
It's a fantastic show. Just be prepared.
Kids together.
Yeah, get the family together. Get some popcorn and let's all go gather around and watch Sons of Anarchy.
Weren't they going to do a prequel to it? With,
yeah, I
like,
think that's what the Beard's talking about in the chat. As he mentioned, that's the first 9.
Because I think like originally they were going to have like Brad Pitt play Jack's father but it just like fell apart, and then they went with
Brad
the
Pitt's
Mayans.
too old now. He's like 60 something goddamn.
No,
years old.
this was like a couple years ago when they were going to do it, and went with the Mayans, I think, instead.
I gotta get through the Mayans again. It's I did enjoy what I watched of it, but the problem was they kind of booted Sutter from the show.